welcome back to Football Talks, everybody. Straight across from FUTV, talking Manchester United. We're now talking the rest of the Premier League. I want to get into the manager, the sack race. El Sacco. Lopetegui news is circulating at the moment. His last training session, and then he's out the door at West Ham. But what about Jose Mourinho? Jose Mourinho to Everton when Sean Dyche is sacked. Sean Dyche, in fact, is not going to get the opportunity to manage Everton in the new stadium. It's going to be a full-on opening with the special one himself. Should Jose Mourinho come back and be back in the Premier League with Everton? That would be an absolutely ridiculous story, wouldn't it? It would be breaking news. It would be blockbuster news. I mean, Jose Mourinho, I mean, just straight across. If you are in the live chats, don't worry if you're catching up later on as well. Get your comments in below. Where does Jose Mourinho rank in all-time Premier League managers? Where does he sit? I want that in there. We might put a poll up on that as well. Where does Jose Mourinho rank in all-time managers of the Premier League? Should he be back in the Premier League? It will be his 4th club in the Premier League if he comes back. And where this has come from, and the story that actually is doing the rounds with Jose Mourinho, is purely based on now him being favourite. With Everton's new ownership group, which is coming in. They want to make a big splash. Obviously, the takeover of Everton is going to be happening quite soon, and everything is going smoothly on that side of things, so that is expected to happen. Obviously, Everton are going to do trial games at the new stadium towards the back end of this season as well, with under-18s and under-21 games going ahead there at the stadium, and then obviously next season it kick-starts. But Jose Mourinho coming back to the Premier League with Everton. I mean, seriously, do we not need any more characters in the Premier League manager-wise right now? I mean, we've got some belters in there, haven't we? I'm going to touch on Arteta and his ball control in a minute. Honestly, that was funny, that one, when I heard that. God, the excuses from some. But yeah, Jose Mourinho, apparently now his favourite. Isn't going too well for him at Fenerbahce for obvious reasons. And when I say obvious reasons, it's Jose Mourinho reasons. And that, I feel, is just simply down to what his demands are, what Jose Mourinho is. He wants a lot more money spending. When he goes into a team, he thinks he should be challenging. I feel like Jose Mourinho went into Turkey thinking he was going to blow it away. There's not many teams that can challenge him over there, but right now, honestly, you look at it, and there is plenty of teams that are challenging. He's miles off Galatasaray right now. And yes, Galatasaray have spent money, but sorry, that doesn't help Jose. And there is cries already from that fan base. I think we as Manchester United fans knew about this when we played them. Leading up to that game, Jose Mourinho was being talked about as not winning this game and then just being sacked off. He'd been smashed by Galatasaray. And that is it. When you're in Turkey and you get beat by the biggest rival, if you're one of the managers of the big two, Fenerbahce or Galatasaray, if you don't win that game, then your head is on the block instantly. It doesn't matter about anything else. And luckily, he managed to get that draw against Manchester United, which kept him afloat. But right now, he's looking, and he is favourite to take over Sean Dyche simply because of the ownership model that's that's coming into Everton. Just checking this out. Can you see Jose Mourinho back in the Premier League? That is a poll running right now. And get your comments and add me a little bit of context to them comments as well when you come in to the comment section below. Let me know why Jose Mourinho needs to be back. Is it too late for Jose? Has he already passed it? Is he over the hill? And what can he do at Everton? Is he expecting money to be spent there? Is it the glitz and glamour of just being back? Honestly, there was a conversation going on the other day, and he's been digging in at Pep Guardiola, obviously. And I've said this all along. If you gave Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho the same team in the middle of the table, with the same money, same finances, no extravagant players, they had the same budget, everything, similar teams. Let's say, for instance, you had a Bournemouth and a Brentford type of team. Not saying them two in particular for any reason. I just want to pick a couple of mid-table teams out. Could say United right now, but hey, no, never. We'll leave them out of this because we've already been there. But if you gave Pep and Jose the same teams, mid-table, and let them battle it out, I would say that Jose Mourinho would win that fight hands down over Pep. Pep needs everything. And Jose, I think what was his comments he said? When he wins the Champions League with a team like Porto or something like that, then we'll start having a conversation about who's the best. I think he's got a point in that. Like, Jose has managed all over the place on limited budgets and different circumstances. And we all know the famous comments he made about Manchester United when he was at the football club, when he said that was his greatest achievement, finishing second with this Manchester United side. We're all actually seeing what he was going on about right now as Man United fans. But Jose Mourinho then in at Spurs, getting sacked the week before the Carabao Cup final. That would have kept his record going at winning trophies wherever he's been, and that was taken away from him. I think that stung Jose more than anything. The way he left Spurs, I think that hit him hard. I would love to see Jose Mourinho back in the Premier League. I think he's box office. I really do. But I think ultimately at the end of it, I think we'll all be sick of Jose Mourinho within another 6 months of him in these press conferences. He comes in with the same charisma, the same attitude right now. Anywhere he goes, and he just carries it, doesn't he? He does. But I think everybody's like fallen out or fed up with him instantly as well within the next 6 months. I think that's his career since leaving, I would say, Manchester United. I think that since he came in at United, that was the one. That was his big one. He absolutely idolised Manchester United. He loved what was going on at the football club. But I just don't see it lasting anywhere for him right now. He's never going to get a big job again. And is Jose Mourinho's level actually that Porto level? Like that mid-table team. Porto, not obviously in Portugal, but in terms of Champions League standing, Porto were quite down the middle, weren't they? Is Jose Mourinho that type of manager now? I just don't think he's going to get what he wants. I think he still feels like he is the big deal, but he's not. And no one's going to throw a load of money behind Jose Mourinho anymore. I'm going to get into your comments on Jose now, so get them into the chat, everybody. Give me your best Jose moments. Talk to me about everything regarding Jose's best achievements and everything like that, and what he could do at Everton. Where would Everton expect to be if Jose came in, though? Remember the calls for him to go in at Newcastle as well, as a shout. Ian says, Jose ain't fell off. Man is one of the greats. It's so ridiculous to think he can't do well. Took Spurs to a final and then sacked him. Yeah, that was bad. I did want to make a point about that. That was bad. He's still one of the best. I reckon he could, with a bit of cash and support, win the Premier League with a smaller club. Look what Nunes has done at Forest. It's if his team gets behind him, isn't it? He's very particular. He needs the exact players, Jose. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And he inherited brilliant players at Chelsea, and I think that's why it worked for him so much. He inherited players that automatically just understood him and wanted to run through brick walls for him. And luckily for Jose, they had the quality to back it up as well. So, yeah, I do think that Jose Mourinho will do a job, depending on Everton's expectations. What are Everton's expectations? Top 10? I think Jose can get that. And if you want to bring Jose in for that, then I think it's a good appointment. I do. I still feel like Sean Dyche could get top 10 for Everton as well. But he's not that glitz and glamour manager, is he? He's not that type. Inter v Barca, one of my favourite games in that final. Oh, that was Jose classic. Kaz has just put in there the anti-Ronaldo comments that Jamie Carragher was coming up with. Carragher just anti-Ronaldo, unbiased opinion, but Maradona, Ronaldo, Messi, Pele and Zidane would be my top 5, says Nick. Yeah. A few other people putting in their top 5s actually as well on what's happening with... their top 5s on best players of all time. Maradona, Messi, best. Ronaldo, Zidane, another one that's gone in there. Gehan says, Jose is a West Ham manager or a Southampton manager. Southampton? I would say more West Ham, but not Everton. He's not a great... Jose plays crap, boring football. Football has changed. Jose hasn't. I don't think he's that bad. I mean, he had Real Madrid's record goal-scoring season when he was there. I know it's not difficult to get goals out of Real Madrid and the players that they've had in the past, but still, like, he did have something. He did have a little bit of something there, didn't he? But I kind of get what you mean a little bit. TT says Jose can do a lot with limited resources, but Everton have to back him. They can't go for a legendary manager like Jose and not back him. That would be then down to the owners. Obviously, being in the new stadium is going to bring in better revenues. We understand that. But also, when you look at the time of it, he isn't going to get money straight away. And Jose, and it'd be interesting to know what Jose's average time is at a new club at the moment. I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it is a lot right now. Does he last a year in his bleeding clubs right now? I mean, I've lost track of the amount of teams that he's actually been at now. I think his average must be about 12 months to 18 months in a job right now. It must be. And Everton will need time in their new stadium to bring the money in to then balance and help the owners invest in the club and meet financial fair play and PSR. Obviously, Everton will be in a great position later down the line with able to spend money and will be able to probably back Jose Mourinho then, but still it's a hard job. It's a hard task for Jose with limited resources for Everton. I mean, maybe boring football and that sort of pragmatic style of football that people say he plays would suit at Everton. We just don't know. The owners of Everton own Roma and they sacked Jose Mourinho at Roma. Will they re-employ him after sacking him at Roma? I think Roma's expectations are probably higher. And we all know Jose's antics at Roma, man, it was crazy. It was. But I don't know. I don't know is the answer to that one, personally. I feel like Jose does... I think he needs to retire. I think maybe one song in the Premier League somewhere and then maybe retire. I honestly don't. I don't rate him as highly as what I used to. I don't, but I think he has got one more job in him at least. And maybe he could do something at Everton. Maybe he could springboard something for them. I have no idea, but still. I think Jose Mourinho, and just to go over the headline again before we move on, Jose is favourite to take the job at Everton and come in for the new stadium start of next season if Sean Dyche is sacked. And rumours are floating around that Sean Dyche might actually get the boot from Everton. So that's going to be interesting to see how that develops anyway. But yes, in terms of other managers and sacking, obviously Lopetegui, it does look like he is going to be out of the door. And Potter is coming back to football. He looks like he is set and ready to go. In fact, let me just double check with everything that is going down right now regarding... Yeah, just double checking everything there. I've not seen any announcement just yet on the Lopetegui one, but we are expecting that to drop down very, very quickly. Drop in quite soon. We are going to see an announcement from West Ham, it would seem. Press conference was cancelled for Lopetegui. I think the rumour was after the training session today, so I think we could hear this any time. Lopetegui is going to be sacked by West Ham, and Potter is going to come in. I'm just going to double check on that now. Potter and West Ham. Yep, so there's quite a few publications saying it. West Ham poised to sack Lopetegui after agreeing longer contract for Potter. Lopetegui's Wednesday press conference cancelled. Potter close to finalising the deal as a manager to 2027. The main headline in this is West Ham are poised to sack Julian Lopetegui after talks progressed positively with Graham Potter, who is close to agreeing a 2.5-year contract to take over the club's manager. As the club's manager, a lunchtime press conference with Lopetegui was cancelled on Wednesday morning, and barring an unexpected hiccup, Potter will replace him before Friday's FA Cup tie at Aston Villa. So that is where it stands at the moment with Lopetegui. He has been horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I think his record right now, I've seen a report come out the other day and a headline came out. His record now is worse than what Avram Grant's was when West Ham went down with him, which is absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. And how he's still in a job, I do not know. I actually don't know how he managed to last out ahead of Erik ten Hag. I thought he would have been the first one to go with how bad West Ham were. I think with him only just coming in at the start of the season, I think that was the only thing that West Ham were holding out for. And that was the only thing that they could probably hope would actually change over time. But the players haven't taken to him. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. And Lopetegui looks like he's going to be replaced by Graham Potter. Potter is coming back to the Premier League. And how long has it been? And someone will put it up in the chat in a minute. How long has it actually been since Potter was sacked by Chelsea? It's going on 2 years now, that, isn't it? 2-3 years since Potter was sacked. And someone will put it up in the chat for me in a moment. But, yeah, I just look at it and go, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think Potter's going to be able to do much more. Personally, I think his brand of football might suit West Ham better, but actually, when I think about it, Potter now, no, it might actually work. It might actually be the perfect fit. I don't know why I said that then. I think he actually will. No expectation, starting from really low, and the West Ham fans will accept anything better right now, I think. So I just look at that and go, you know what, maybe Potter he will get backed by West Ham as well. I think West Ham can actually spend a little bit of money, and they have got good players there. Potter's brand of football, I think, will definitely be more pleasing on the eye than what Lopetegui's is. So maybe with Potter being out for so long, he's got the bit between his teeth. Everton need a new style. They're not expecting much, having been so poor this season. It could actually work out really well. So, yeah, I actually feel like this actually could work well for West Ham. Please give the video a like, everybody. Let's get them up over 50 likes, please. We're trying to build Football Talks at the moment. We are slowly growing. It's brilliant to have a lot of the people in from the other channel as well. But, yeah, we are trying to bring in all of the different conversations and different topics as well. Back onto managers as well. Regarding... actually, no, I just wanted to touch on the Elon Musk thing and just put that to bed quickly, because he came out earlier on taking the mick out of the stories about him taking over at Liverpool, or his dad. Elon, also, I'm buying Manchester United, you're welcome. Are you serious? This was a conversation on X. No, it's a long-running joke on Twitter. I'm not buying any sports teams. Although, if I were to buy any team, it would be Man United. They were my favourite team as a kid. So, yeah, safe to say, Liverpool will not be getting Elon Musk as their new owner, and he won't be coming into the Premier League. So, yes, I did want to talk about probably the biggest joke of all. Like, Arteta. Mikel Arteta right now. I've done a video here on Football Talks about him and whether or not he needs a trophy. Like, he blew it last night. He's come out and when people have questioned him about the trophies that he's won, and he's gone down the Community Shield route. I mean, even Piers Morgan came out and said, look, you haven't just done that, have you, Mikel? And said that we've won, I think, 3 trophies because he's got 2 Community Shields and an FA Cup, which he inherited from Unai Emery. Honestly, like, he's done that, and that was bad enough. And this is in the same season. And then last night, Mikel Arteta was complaining about the balls that were being used. Oh, my God. He was complaining about Dubravka wasting time, which is embarrassing. It really is. Considering how long they take over corners, let's not forget that in like this whole effort to push their advantage on corners. Have you noticed that? It's been picked up on a bit more. And 1 year we got booked for it against Brighton at weekend. They deliberately take ages in taking the corner just to unsettle teams. So all of the players hover at the back stick. They have this little routine, and it's been picked up on now by officials. So Arteta coming out and saying and complaining about Dubravka time wasting. It's unbelievable. But Arteta timing Dubravka's goal kicks when his team has 9 yellow cards for time wasting this season is shameless. That's one tweet that's come out about this as well. Honestly, 9 yellow cards. This is getting ridiculous right now. Like, Arteta is clutching at straws. And of course, the balls are different in the Carabao Cup. They're a different type of ball. And that's his latest. Honestly, if you're an Arsenal fan right now and you're listening to your manager talking about community shields, yeah, you can back him all you want. And you can say that they've come close. They've ran Manchester City close a few times. They've come second. They've not won anything, though. 5 years with Arteta. 5 years and no trophies. This is what you need to look at. Right now, Mikel Arteta has some Community Shields and an FA Cup. And if you're an Arsenal fan sitting there last night and you're watching Arteta in his post-match interview complaining about time wasting and then about the balls, look at your system, mate. Look at your teams. He is a full-on embarrassment right now in what he's saying. I think it's got to him. I actually do feel like it's got to him. And I honestly don't. This is why I feel confident as a United fan going into the weekend. Look, we might not win the game at weekend United, but still, I do believe that he has lost it a bit. And I think this could be the start of the demise of Mikel Arteta. He's starting to say things. He's starting to lose his grip. I think his players have got a little bit tired of his system, and he hasn't freshened it up enough. He hasn't bought a striker. He's needed a striker for God knows how long. He's not got a goal scorer at that team. And that's what Arsenal are missing right now. We've said it. Everybody can see it. I mean, United would gladly give them Marcus Rashford and let him ruin them even more. But to be blind to that and to buy the players that he's bought, honestly, there's a few people in the chat here actually saying what the AFTV lads were saying last night. AFTV was elite last night. I need Arteta to stay at Arsenal because Arsenal fan meltdowns are hilarious. Honestly, delusional fan base, and it's great to see them all crying. Tears of Arsenal right now is the best thing going on, even for United fans. Just to see them, it's like we are in our worst spell ever, and they're still not winning anything. So when we actually come back up again, it'll be perfect timing, won't it? And we can start winning again, and they'll just be like their follow-up. They just don't move. They're a nearly team. They just never win anything. Great to watch. Very good team. Comfortable Champions League finishes. That's great. But you're just not going to win a trophy. And you know what? I would love it if United knocked them out. I sound like Keegan now, don't I? I would love it if we beat them. No, honestly, I think United can beat them. I think right now, I think they've lost the way. Reliant on set pieces. And again, last night, double figures in corners. And they didn't get anywhere near the goal. Newcastle's defence, by the way, I did the watch-along last night. They were absolutely awesome. They were brilliant. But when your manager starts coming out and starts bitching and moaning about things like this, then, yeah, you are definitely rolling. You're walking down that never-ending road of excuses, and you know where that leads. El Sacco, again, we're talking sack managers. I wonder how long Arteta's going to last. It's difficult to ask United fans right now, and I don't even know if we've got any Arsenal fans in on Football Talks just yet, but how long does Arteta last? How long do you hang on to him for? What is your next level? Do you not need to develop from where you're at right now? And if he keeps hitting that wall, there's only one way that Arsenal are going to go with Arteta still in there, still running their team, and that's backwards. It is, isn't it? It has to be. Anyway, yeah, it's I think last season was a season that Arsenal needed to win it. If they weren't going to win it then it's doom and gloom. I don't think they're ever going to win it because Liverpool have come back up. Other teams are chasing them now. City will rebuild in the summer. They're not going to win it. They could push maybe if Liverpool drop off, but City will rebuild in the summer with Pep having 2 more years, and then that's it, done. Arsenal can't handle Man City. They're struggling with Liverpool right now. Arsenal fans are absolutely crying because this is the season when City fall off completely and they still can't get anywhere near. It's glorious to watch. Honestly, I'll swap places in an instant with them right now in terms of United fan to Arsenal, but they are used to competing now. They are used to challenging, and to not be anywhere nearer to winning it, it must be absolutely killing them inside. And it is quite amusing as a United fan to watch it, but I'd be intrigued to know what Arsenal fans thought of what they would give Arteta now in terms of time. Do they feel like he can win it? They've still got what? They're still in every single competition this season. We could be all here with egg on our face laughing at them right now. They could turn the season around. I don't see it but still. Give them the credit. They're still in the Carabao Cup just. They've got us in the FA Cup. They're in the Champions League. And they are still chasing the title in the Premier League. And a lot can happen in 4 months of football, as we know. But I just don't see it. I just don't get that feeling that Arsenal are good enough. I don't get that feeling they've got that extra bite or that little bit of something extra. I feel like Liverpool have. I feel like City can come back on them. I feel like Chelsea have probably got a better chance of finishing above Arsenal this season as well right now because they've got that unknown quantity. I just don't think Arsenal have. I don't know where it comes from either. I'm not surprised that they've been linked with Mbeumo. Mbeumo would be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. I don't want him to get him because I would prefer United to get him. I like Mbeumo. But he is the perfect man to come in right now into Arsenal, I think, and he's exactly what they need. They just need someone who's strong, direct, knows where the back of the net is, proven Premier League player. I would not be surprised if Arsenal got Mbeumo and tried to get him as soon as January this month as well. I really wouldn't. That's what I would. That'd be my sort of far out bet for the transfer window this January. Arsenal get Mbeumo. The problem with Arteta is that he doesn't play his team as a front runner now. Now it's too late to play as a front runner as it's too risky to play in that fashion. Balance. Introducing Nick as well, by the way, for Football Talks. Nick, who is a moderator on this channel and on FUTV as well. He is the man that sits behind me in Old Trafford, deafening people with Nick rants, as Kaz says in the chat there. Legend. Thank you, Nick. Brendan says, AFT last night, the fans are now saying they need a new manager. God, imagine that. Imagine that. Forest will overtake the Gooners. Yeah, I made a video about Forest the other day as well, about how their chances are. And you look at the amount of games that Arsenal have got, and Forest have only got the FA Cup and the League to play. So they've got a maximum 20-odd games, where Arsenal could be into the 30s plus, and that squad's not big enough. We've seen it right now without Saka, without Nwaneri right now as well. What we've got, Odegaard's been in and out of the side, Ben White's been missing. I just don't think they have got that depth that everybody thinks they've got. And now with injuries coming in, I think that is it. I think they're done. Look, that was just a little update video on Football Talks. We're going to be doing them every now and then when we've got significant news coming in and about. But just wanted to build the channel up and get the audience used to watching on Football Talks as well. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give the video a like. That should take us over 50 likes for the show anyway. But there's your little Manager El Sacco update. Get in the comment section and let me know. Would you like to see Jose Mourinho back in the Premier League? That's the question I'm asking. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll see you all later on FUTV this evening, and yeah, have a fantastic afternoon everyone.